Hey, it's Kevin Topol with GigaOhm, and today I want to take a quick look at the Samsung Galaxy S2 for AT&T's network. This phone comes out on Sunday, October the 2nd for $199 after contract, and the Samsung Galaxy S2, it's already Samsung's fastest selling smartphone, so definitely a hot handset. And I real quick want to show you first of all what you get in the box. Not all that much. You do get a USB cable and a power brick, very small, and of course you get the phone. Here it is with the 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus display. It's definitely one of the highlight features of this phone, but it's also very impressive in other regards with the dual-core 1.2 gigahertz Samsung processor. That keeps it running along pretty snappy, but I can't help but enjoy the screen. It's just really nice. I'll also show you how thin this device is. I believe it's 8.7 millimeters thin. So even though you've got a larger display, you've got a nice thin profile, so honestly it's not that bad in a front pocket in my opinion. So, alright, why don't we take a closer look at the device and show you how fast it performs and go through some of the other features. So let's start out with a hardware tour of the Galaxy S2 for AT&T. You've got the 4.3-inch display, as I said. You've got 4 capacitive buttons at the bottom, very standard for Samsung. Up top, it may be hard to see, but right there is a 2-megapixel video camera. And I emphasize the 2 megapixels because many phones come with VGA cameras, and that means they're like 331,000 pixels. This is just about 2 million pixels, and the difference is dramatic. This phone actually has Google Talk video support, and I've had video chats with my son, and the video quality is outstanding. So on the right hand side is where the power button is. I actually like that because for the bigger phone my thumb is already here as opposed to trying to reach up here up to the top, so I do like that. Up top we also have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack as well as a little microphone hole. Left side is just a standard up and down volume toggle, rocker switch. And on the bottom, again, another microphone port and the micro USB. Back side, where we have this little bump out, that's where your speaker is. And then you also have the 8-megapixel camera with flash. And this phone, I'll tell you what, it's pretty darn thin. It's pretty darn thin. I'm going to compare the size to the Motorola Droid Bionic. And quite honestly, the phones, from looking from the front, they're pretty much the same, I would say. But when you look at the thickness, or thinness, as it may be, there's a big difference there. The Motorola is definitely a little bit thicker. It's certainly heavier. And that's because this Samsung is made mostly of plastic, quite honestly. It's a little bit light, very light actually. People who were concerned about the weight that I've showed this to, or the size of it, said, you know what, it's really light, it doesn't feel so big, maybe it does fit in a pocket, and surely it does. Here's an iPod Touch, 4th generation. It certainly fits in my front pocket, and here, looking from the front, you can see it is not that much bigger. So, not too shabby. I'm going to open up the back cover before we actually power the phone on. There's just a little notch there, and that's a very thin plastic cover. It's textured. It's got a nice grippy feel. Then you've got the battery here. I'm finding I can go a full day on a single charge, and that's acceptable to me. I don't mind recharging a phone every night. I think for heavy duty users, they might find it a challenge, and I would certainly recommend a spare, but then again, I recommend spares for all mobile devices. You've got your SIM card slot, and then to take the, you have to take the battery out to use the micro SD card slot. I'm not a fan of that, but we've seen that design before on the Samsung Infuse 4G, which is a very similar looking phone, just bigger, 4.5-inch display. But it has the same kind of general design. So, alright, I'm going to take care of that and power it on, and you can see this beautiful screen. I just absolutely love this. Super AMOLED Plus. It is 800 by 480. It just doesn't feel like it with this screen. It certainly does not. Viewing angles are really good from top to bottom, left to right. I've got that display going off too soon. So I love the screen. Let's unlock it. You've got 7 home screens. You've got various settings here in a widget, and I can tap more and get the rest of them here. But also, when you pull down the notification shade, you get Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, flight mode, and screen rotation on-off, so that's kind of nice. Clear those notifications. Actually, let me show you something. Samsung's integrated the accelerometer and gyroscope into this phone quite a bit. So if I want to move this widget, yeah, I can tap and hold and just drag it. But if I also wanted to, I could tilt the phone. Actually, you end up turning the phone, and it's kind of hard to show on camera, so I'm tilting it to simulate going left and right with it. but if I just tilt the phone, I can drop that widget anywhere I want. It's kind of neat. You can just hold and move it somewhere else. Pretty slick. Alright, let's take a look here. I've done some speed tests. I've only done a few. This phone does support HSPA Plus on AT&T's network, where they have enhanced backhaul. And the first speed test I got, which is actually here in the home office, was relatively quick. I've obviously seen quicker on HSPA Plus, but not too shabby. And I do need to find some better testing areas, I think, because we should see better speeds than that. Let's go. Actually, let me show you. We've got the 1.2 gigahertz processor in here, dual core. So moving through different apps, switches pretty quick. Google Talk, Twitter again. Go back to speed test. I mean, it's pretty zippy. You tap and it happens. I kind of like that. Same thing with applications. I mean, you just scroll through your apps and you can get around pretty quickly. So it's kind of nice. Let's see, web browsing. Now, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm typically on Wi-Fi for these tests, but I want to show you what the AT&T network looks like on here. I also have a web page, GigaOhm. Let's go to a post I wrote earlier today so you can see it load up. Did I hit it or not? Always tough to do these with a camera in between you and the phone. Alright, it's loading now. There it is, and again, that's over AT&T's network. I live out in the sticks. Coverage isn't fantastic, but it's pretty decent. Again, that accelerometer and gyroscope integration, if I tap with both fingers, I can actually zoom in, zoom out, just like that. It's pretty funky. I still like my double tap because it auto resizes everything for me. That's pretty nice. You can certainly do multiple windows, adjust the brightness, we'll do a new window. This will be AT&T or Yahoo's home screen, which is set as the default. So, not too bad. Let's go back to the windows and switch back to GigaOhm. Rotate, and again, we can do that. Pretty nifty. That functionality actually works in the gallery as well, and I'm going to bring up a picture that I took in San Francisco earlier this weekend, because the camera so far has been stellar. 8 megapixel, excellent sensor. There's my picture from Water Bar Restaurant in San Francisco. If you're familiar with it, probably does it no justice here by looking at this on video, but it just really looks nice. Zooms in nice, looks crisp, looks clear, nice color, and again, if you wanted to zoom in and zoom out that way, you could do that as well. Just came out really, really nice. I haven't taken any videos with this yet. It does do HD video. I'll have to do that for my full review, but camera quality, really, really nice. I'm very impressed by that so far. So, let's see, what else can we show you? More widgets. You've got the application manager here, so you can close all your apps if you want. Typical Samsung. View the RAM, clear the background apps, get more RAM back. It shows 837 megabytes of RAM. We have 16 megabytes of storage on the phone, and then with that additional memory card slot, you can add another 32. So that brings you up to 48 gigabytes on this phone if you wanted to go full bore. Netflix, I think I was last watching Cheers, and I tweeted that this screen makes Cheers look like HD. I mean, the colors just pop. It looks beautiful. Let's see, somebody was watching 24. See, that's the problem with a shared Netflix account. iCarly, yeah, it wasn't me, folks. It wasn't me. Let's see, more continue watching. I want to show you Cheers, because it was not an HD show, obviously 20 years ago, but it just looks really, really nice. Cheetah Girls, oh, somebody was busy while I was away. Alright. I don't know how good this will look on video, but it certainly looks good to my 4 eyes. And again, this is over AT&T's network, not over Wi-Fi.
Diana, you ready? It's time for the sorrow and the pity. Well, you two going straight home to bed, huh?
You know it's a
Do it that way.
Oh, not just a movie. It's the final feature in the human brutality film.
Looks super. It just looks super. Colors look really nice. So, all right. Well, I'll have a full review on the Samsung Galaxy the Galaxy 2 S2 for AT&T coming up soon. But because the phone's coming out on Sunday, October 2nd, just a few days away, I thought I'd give you this quick video look. So, hope you enjoy it and come on back for the full review.